There is a proposed increase in the base growth percentage to the Property Tax Request Authority of 4%. That is added to this year's budget. And take a look at the chart here with me. This is how the Board of Education is explaining the task ask increase. You can see the difference between 2025 and 2026. It will be a little more than $90 increase per year for an average home value of $337,000. That rounds out to about 4.6%. LPS is set to discuss this tonight, and then there will be another public hearing on the budget on September 8th. Also tonight, the board will vote on an agreement with the City of Lincoln to provide 16 school resource officers for the school year. The agreements would also include a threat assessment officer. The contract will cost a little less than $1 million. We'll let you know if this is approved tonight at 10. Now to that breaking news. Canada today announcing retaliatory tariffs on the United States. The move in response to President Trump levying 50% tariffs on a number of Canadian goods. This week, with more possibly on the horizon. The president today also leveling fresh attacks toward Canada, saying he wants to rename Lake Ontario. No major changes, though, on Wall Street so far. You can see the Dow Jones sitting at about 100 points above the line there. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the details on what goods are going to be impacted and how American business owners are responding.
Today, the trade war with Canada escalating even further. President Trump posting on social media he's considering renaming Lake Ontario, an international waterway, to Lake America, though he can only change the name for American use and can't enforce it internationally. As Canada announces its own new retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods, saying 15, 25, and 50% tariffs will match the U.S.'s. Furniture, clothing, apparel, and steel now facing those 50% counter tariffs.
This is an unprecedented challenge imposed on Canada. But Canada will meet the moment. Canadians will meet the moment. We will meet the moment together.
President Trump's 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of goods going into effect over the weekend, hitting furniture, textiles, building supplies, and alcohol. The feud between the two sides erupting Monday. Ontario's leader with this message for Trump, calling him arrogant and a bully.
Well, he can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. We're going to go at him full steam.
Here at home, business owners bracing for impact. Michael Howard says his furniture company in Michigan will take a hit.
With a 50% tariff, all those costs have skyrocketed, and just that one project just cost our family thousands of dollars in profit, and which impacts the ability for us to put food on the table.
Trump has said, quote, "We don't need Canada, but the U.S. relies on its supplies like fertilizer and energy." Overnight, Trump acknowledging another key import, aluminum.
You know, selfishly, we need aluminum in this country. We don't have it. We get it all from Canada for the most part, and we need it badly.
And don't forget, President Trump has threatened even more tariffs on Canada, a 50% tariff on cars and car parts going into effect on January 1st. It's something Canada says will only hurt American auto workers. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, you can see a cloudy start to your day here. Outlook Communications camera. Temperatures are stayed relatively down, though. It's not too bad out there. 74 degrees outside. Let's get on over to meteorologist Houston Hall. Let's get a closer look for us in our first forecast. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. Yes, it's a very strange sort of weather pattern that we have currently. There's a cold front draped across northwest Nebraska, but their temperatures are a little bit warmer than what we're seeing right now. And we do have a little bit of sprinkle activity, so we got a lot of cloud cover. The sensors are really sun happy, I guess, but we're sitting in the 70s with a light southwest wind. Check it out. You can see sort of the white clouds building up across Lincoln. A few sprinkles might be trying to fall from those clouds right over downtown, but really no thunderstorm activity around the area. Grand Island just southeast of there, maybe a decent little light rain shower. All the activity from this morning has now dived down towards Kansas. You can see where the cold front is draped, and then a little surface boundary off towards southwest Nebraska. Check out the temperatures. 77 in O'Neill, 79 in Thetford, 80 in Valentine. That's the warmest temperature where the cold front is currently at. We're only at 74, so very pleasant, but oof, there's all your moisture. We've got dew points in those upper 60s, lower 70s, so it is muggy. Let's take a look at Stormcast. So about here in the next hour or two, we could see an isolated storm in and around southeast Nebraska where that marginal risk is. I think the best chance for some severe weather really comes this evening into tonight. Southwest Nebraska, North Platte, that wind and hail threat moves off in a long I-80, dives down towards the southeast overnight. And I really think that's going to be our best chance early for storms this evening. So I'll walk you through the whole forecast in a few.
And for those of you taking the detour around 27th and Old Cheney that last week or so, you may not have to take it much longer. LTU tells us they are hoping to have everything back open by Monday. They're fixing up the water main in this area. They say you won't see construction crews working on it for the next few days because they just poured concrete. They are now waiting for it to completely set before they open the road up. They are shooting again for early next week. Developing now, an investigation is ongoing after reports of a dead body. Investigators say a woman died in this apartment complex. Our Mackenzie Johnson was at the scene talking to witnesses. She has the story for us this morning.
People who live in this central Lincoln neighborhood say there was a swarm of police officers on Monday afternoon. LPD says they were called to this apartment complex near 18th and G Streets just before 3:30 on Monday. Citizen journalist Kevin capturing this video where you can see several unmarked law enforcement vehicles parked out front. Channel 8 got a tip about the situation just before 6. By the time I arrived, investigators were working to gather evidence. Not many details have come to light yet, but police finding a 31-year-old woman unresponsive, and she was declared dead. I spoke to several people who say they saw first responders carry a body out of the building. I watched investigators leave the building through this alleyway and an officer walking out the front door, so it's not clear where the woman died. Police say the cause of death is unknown and there's no word on whether foul play is believed to be involved. When any new information is released, our team will be posting an update on our website, klkntv.com, and on our Now Local News app. Plus, watch our newscasts to hear from authorities if they give us any new details. Reporting in Lincoln, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
New at midday, the Lancaster Board of Commissioners voting yes to a grant request for the Lincoln Sports Foundation. That means the foundation is getting $1 million, which they asked for. They say the funds will help them bring major upgrades to some parts of their facility. It'll benefit both athletes and their visitors.
I'm supportive, especially in an environment where indoor sports facilities have been changing a lot. It's good that they're able to step up and host some more events and practices.
The level up that this organization has seen over the last, maybe 6 years or so is so extreme. Yeah. They're so much farther down the line. They have Olympic athletes training at their facility. They are doing really amazing things with at-risk youth in the community.
The grant is expected to help the organization expand visitor attraction and improve facilities. Now to Husker football, a chance to hear more glowing reviews about the Nebraska offense today.
Man, I'm encouraging the ability to be able to extend the play, and receivers understand I better get to those spots. Been very pleased with where they're at. I'll get fired up though.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson sure seems excited. It'll be a new look group this year with the addition of Anthony Calandria at quarterback. We could possibly hear from him today for the first time since he was named the starter. Sports director Will Charlton will be at practice today asking the Big Red how good this offense can be. You can catch that full report tonight at 5. Right now, school is back in session but some students are returning to class with a new challenge. We're talking about navigating construction. The city is offering families detours, but how are they holding up? Channel 8's Danielle Da Silva speaking with some parents about how they are handling pickup and drop off despite the detours.
My main concern is just with students coming to and from school, with the sidewalks on Van Dorn being closed, that causes safety issues when students might confront a sidewalk that's closed and have to navigate and potentially try to go into the street.
The first time I went on my bike, I went there and I didn't know where to go because it was closed.
But the city says the construction is part of a larger effort to make school routes safe. Earlier this month, LTU Director Liz Elliott explaining their progress.
Through the Safe Routes to School initiative, our team works to incorporate school zone improvements into other planned street projects. By coordinating project locations and construction schedules, we can complete multiple improvements at the same time, saving taxpayer dollars and reducing the need for future construction in that area.
Having completing improvements in 2 school zones this year so far, LTU has put up new crosswalk, reduced speed limit signs, and curb extensions to make crossings more visible. Parent Kathleen says it's all understandable to her, having participated in discussions around city planning and projects before.
So fortunately, my kids They do after-school clubs, and they walk home most days, and so it's been a lot of problem solving, and I think that's a good thing for kids too, if we are patient enough to navigate that.
The sidewalks are probably going to be way nicer, so it's not as much bumps and cracks.
Danielle De Silva for Channel 8 News.
After the break, a hard-working ranking. Find out what special attributes of the Cornhusker State is pushing us to one of the top spots for states with the hardest workers.
At Stanton, for a limited time, kids get a free eye exam.
Penguins need clear vision. Kids do too.
Plus, glasses start at just $79. Made same day. Smart, simple. Stanton.
Next DT, 90s TV stars put to work. Only we're on set of their HGTV Reno show.
Plus, I'm Christy Brinkley, and this is my ET then and now. Next.
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
The story of a kinesiotherapist who rehabbed his golf game.
I love golf. I have always played golf.
Until he started having some mulligan-level foot pain.
Well, the golf game starts down at the feet, and if you don't have good support, you probably won't have a good golf swing.
So he got fitted for Good Feet arch supports.
It made a world of difference.
Any advice for your fellow linksmen?
2 words, the Good Feet store. How many words is that?
Swing by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Sleep better and save during our Labor Day sale. A king bed for the price of a queen bed for the price of a twin. Our mattresses are built just for you in our locally owned store and backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. Comfort Made Mattress Factory at South Point, next to Shields.
Trying to get attention online? Scroll, 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 or boom, put your business on Channel 8 KLKN. Real viewers, real impact, real fast. Advertise with Channel 8 and watch the buzz begin. Scan the QR code to get started.
At Stanton, we use the latest technology to make your glasses the same day.
Life's too busy to wait for glasses.
Get 2 pairs for $79 and a free eye exam. Smart, simple. Stanton.
Right now, a Wallet Hub study ranking which states work the hardest. Nebraska ranks in the top 10 at number 6. South Dakota is ranked the most hardworking in the country. According to the study, 6.5% of the workers have multiple jobs and has the highest employment rates at almost 98%. Following them is North Dakota, as you can see on this map. They're second. Alaska is third. Michigan is last. Wallet Hub looking at factors like average work week hours, percent of workers who have multiple jobs, and then average leisure time per day. Health experts say coal shouldn't be used to power data centers, and buying groceries at the dollar stores may save shoppers money, but that could come with a hidden cost to their health. Jane King explains in today's Wellness Report.
A UC Riverside survey found greater access to dollar stores was linked to higher rates of obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. Meantime, access to traditional groceries was associated with better health outcomes, and the findings held across the U.S. even after researchers accounted for things like income and unemployment. The study examined stores including Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and the 99-cent store and Family Dollar, which together have about 34,000 locations. 3 in 5 millennials admit their financial image of themselves doesn't reflect their financial reality, but that doesn't mean they bought into the grind culture of previous generations. Instead, they say they made financial trade-offs in favor of flexibility. Conducted by Talker Research on behalf of Chime, the survey found spending money on experiences rather than traditional savings and assets was the top financial trade-off for that age group. And prominent figures in the Make America Healthy Again movement are telling President Trump that data centers should not become the justification for burning more coal. It cites coal's public health, an environmental toll due to pollution, and coal ash that has heavy metals. It says there are better energy options. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Well, it's a cool, but it is a muggy day. We got some cloud cover that just built in. Maybe a shower thunderstorm here in the next hour. Show you in a few.
What is Spectrum Internet? It's secure internet for you and your family.
It's keeping kids like us safe online.
It's everything you want it to be. Switch today at spectrum.com.
KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage, dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
For the quality furniture you're looking for, make the drive to Beatrice and visit Sheer Quality Furniture, offering free delivery to Lincoln. High quality furniture at a great price. Sheer Furniture in Beatrice.
Celebrate the end of summer with unbeatable Labor Day deals at Supreme Spa and Pool. Save up to $8,300 on semi-in-ground pools or $9,700 on in-ground pools. Plus, get a free robotic cleaner. Supreme Spa and Pool.
Did you know 3/4 of the U.S. Senate are millionaires? That includes both Nebraska senators, who have gotten much richer while in office. Both Ricketts and Fisher refused to support the banned Congressional Stock Trading Act. Instead, Ricketts introduced his own bill, which Fisher supported. According to Campaign Legal Center, it does not actually ban congressional stock trading and does nothing to prevent members of Congress voting to boost the stocks their families already own. Tell Senator Ricketts and Senator Fisher to stop playing games and support the banned Congressional Stock Trading Act now.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
Developing now, fire crews in Nevada making progress in holding a wildfire at bay that's threatening neighborhoods around Reno. This morning, the Hawk Fire was at 27% containment. The flames tearing through much of that area, leaving catastrophic aftermath behind. Everything from homes to cars. You can see that here next to me, all burned down. The fire, which has scorched some 15,000 acres since starting over the weekend, still posing a major threat for people in the area and a major challenge for firefighters. Reed Binion reports.
Stay informed, watch outside, and please be ready to go.
Even with some evacuation orders downgraded and firefighters making progress Monday, authorities in Nevada say the threat from the massive Hawk Fire is far from over. The blaze, which started Saturday, has torched tens of thousands of acres just northwest of Reno. It's also forced thousands of evacuations. A convention hall lined wall to wall with cots for displaced residents.
I'm just going to pray and ask God.
The blaze threatening lives.
We've had 4 civilian injuries and 3 firefighter injuries.
And destroying homes.
Our damage assessment teams made their way out into certain areas yesterday. 32 destroyed homes and 6 damaged homes.
Officials expect those numbers to increase. Authorities say the fire was human caused.
We're looking for any evidence that we can find.
But it's unclear if it was intentional or accidental.
We're asking our community for support. Did you see anybody out there? Did you see anybody around the fires that took off? Was it accidental? Was it intentional?
On Monday, officials said firefighters made progress holding the blaze. Still, with dense grass and brush in the fire's path, high winds and low humidity could worsen the situation in the coming days.
They need Mother Nature, hopefully, to just remain calm for just a little bit.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
As we take a look outside, might be a little bit of a haze and maybe a drizzle. Whole lot of cloud cover though, but you can see a little bit of sun trying to peek through some of those clouds. It is 74 degrees. We got a dew point of 68, so no heat index, and we are having a calm wind. Check this out. There's that cloud cover that just built in about 30 minutes ago. You can see it's kind of wider when it comes to the cloud cover. That's a little bit thicker cloud cover, the lighter shades of white, higher level clouds. Now, if you look off towards the west, you see these. Now focus on those clouds. Now those are usually indicators of those high level cirrus clouds. They look a little scaly, which means there might be a little bit of transverse bands, which usually indicates turbulence for aviation, and also a little bit of instability, and that's your storm motion. Just something cool there. You can see our little thunderstorm that we had from this morning. That's now down towards Kansas. That's what's given us these little clouds just north of Grand Island. So very cool. If you can get a picture of those are awesome if you're just north of Grand Island. But a cold front up towards our north. You can see a little bit of cloud development right there along that front. What's that going to do? It's going to give a chance for some severe weather later this evening, mainly from right here in the yellow. Now the green and surrounding areas is for maybe an isolated storm. There will be some storm fuel in the atmosphere, so if a storm can tap in, grow up scale, could have that quarter-size hail, maybe some gusty winds. So check it out. This model has a little bit of rain, maybe an isolated thunderstorm popping up here in the next hour. There's 1 to 2. That could be an isolated thunderstorm, which could grow up scale just right around north of Grand Island, Columbus, here across southeast Nebraska where that cloud cover is. But really, I think the main severe weather threat is going to stay off towards southwest Nebraska. Now, this model has it a little bit late, and that might be the trend due to that thunderstorm this morning. So this could be about 8 to 10 p.m. We'll start to see these storms isolated in nature off towards southwest Nebraska. They'll cluster up, carry that damaging wind and hail threat as they ride along I-80 just between Grand Island and North Platte. Right about there, McCook could get another decent second round of rainfall going into the overnight hours, midnight to 2 a.m. And then Grand Island, they're in that slight risk right there because that could bring a little bit of gusty outflow winds and 60, 65 mile per hour winds 2 a.m. We look to stay dry across southeast Nebraska. You can see the bar graph precipitation chances here in Lincoln try to peak up 30% after 9 p.m. So we could definitely see a little bit of isolated shower and thunderstorm activity as we go later into tonight as those storms push off towards the east. Now, temperature-wise, there's that cold front. Meanwhile, temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s, and we're at 74 here in Lincoln, 70 in Holdridge. For the rest of the afternoon, we should see a little more sunshine. We just got to get these clouds a little out of here. Should top off in those low to mid 80s. Temperatures in the 70s by about this evening into tonight. After today, the weather looks to be a little calmer off towards the eastern half of the state. We got us at 85 to 88 degrees. The weekend still looks on par for 90s. And we do have a chance for a little bit of storm chances in the overnight hours there. And then next week, still continuing the pattern of the upper 80s and some periodic rain.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still ahead, this midday troubling testimony, the sensitive topic, sparking backlash and a push for material in the Lindsay Clancy trial and how it could impact the case going forward.
We knew the Knowles was the right decision right away by how quickly she adjusted and how well she adjusted. She became part of the community. I think for us, immediately, it was an upbeat, positive energy here. The residents are always friendly. The staff is accessible and responsive.
She needed to be in a very good, safe environment. Yeah. And we felt that the Knowles did fit our needs for that too.
Very well cared for.
This Labor Day, the rest you deserve is in the all-new Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's. And it's a great time to save on all King Quail mattresses. Save $300 on their hand-tufted intimate lineup, and sleep cooler tonight on King Quail's latest innovation in comfort, Float. And speaking of comfort, our exclusive pressure mapping system will help guide your way to finding the perfect King Quail mattress for you. Plus, get interest-free financing and free delivery on every mattress set, $9.99 or more. So stop in and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
Hit the road this summer with a new ride from Duteau Chevrolet. With a lineup built for style, capability, and everyday versatility, Duteau has what you need for road trips, weekend plans, and everything in between. Right now, get 0% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months on 2026 Chevy Silverados, or get 2.9% for 48 months on a 2026 Traverse. Become part of the Duteau family today. Online anytime at DuteauChevrolet.com.
It's hotter than a hound dog in a Nebraska heat wave.
I think we need help. I'm gonna just call Dave's.
Family-owned Dave's Heating and Air is Lincoln's heating and air experts. We install quality brine equipment and will do whatever it takes to make your home feel cool and crisp on a hot Nebraska day. Whether you need service, repairs, or a new system, the Dave's family is here for you.
Dave always saves the day.
Dave's Heating and Air, professional service you can trust.
Developing now the trial for a Connecticut mom accused of killing her 3 children. Lindsay Clancy's murder trial is in the home stretch. Expert testimony sparking heated responses in the courtroom. Final witnesses could be called to the stand today. ABC's Deborah Roberts has the latest.
This morning, in the final days of testimony in Lindsay Clancy's murder trial, fireworks in the courtroom after prosecution witness Dr. Kirk Heilbrunn testified about her Catholic upbringing.
When I asked her about that, when I said, isn't suicide a mortal sin?
Yeah, can I see counsel over here?
Clancy's attorney moving to declare a mistrial.
The reason is that this is intentional misconduct on the part of the prosecution.
The prosecution denying misconduct, but Judge William Sullivan visibly frustrated by the testimony.
How is any of that proper at this point?
Sullivan rejecting the motion for mistrial, giving jurors these firm instructions.
The religion that the defendant was raised with is absolutely an inappropriate area of testimony. It is to be stricken.
It's the second time Catholicism has been brought up in the trial. Last week, prosecutors asking Clancy's former mother-in-law about her faith.
Are you an active member in the Catholic Church?
Yes. Sullivan striking that line of questioning from the record. The trial igniting a fierce debate around postpartum mental health and whether Clancy intentionally planned and killed her 3 children or was in a state of postpartum psychosis. Clancy, maintaining a voice she'd never heard before, nor has heard since, told her to commit the horrible acts. But the forensic psychologist planting seeds of doubt about her mental state.
That would be a very, very unusual pattern or manifestation of how this kind of thing comes about.
Deborah Roberts, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead this midday, busy travel forecast. Find out how much flying or driving will cost you during Labor Day weekend and which big airline is promising lower prices soon.
My hobbies have changed over the years, but I still love my gadgets. My caregiver from Synergy Home Care does too. I teach her all I know, and she keeps me sharp too.
At Trudy's Dog Motel, we offer only this: personal professional attention and care for your pet when you're away. Trudy's, part of the Polaris Veterinary Center at 2000 North 112th. Trudy's, since 1963, your pet's home away from home.
Since 1959, Whitehead Oil Company has fueled the heartland, powering families, farms, and businesses with quality and care. From humble beginnings to a trusted name, our commitment has never changed. Service, reliability, and values that strengthen our communities. As America marks 250 years of independence, we're proud to do our part, keeping the heartland moving through our partnership with Phillips 66 and the customers we serve. Whitehead Oil Company and U-Stop convenience stores, fueling the heartland today, tomorrow, and for generations to come.
Figuring out how to juggle work and take care of Mom was a puzzle. But once I found Synergy Home Care, everything fell into place. It was everything she needed and just what I needed too.
This news segment was brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows.
Heartland of Nebraska Windows is proud to offer the lowest prices for high-quality windows. You can buy more expensive windows from a bigger company, but can't buy windows from a better company than Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Call today for your free estimate.
Which room in your home could use new flooring? Carpets Direct is your #1 source for all things floors, offering a wide variety of carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, laminate, and sheet vinyl flooring. Carpets Direct, South 48th Street, Lincoln.
Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News Midday.
New developments on Lincoln's oldest missing persons case. LPD providing an update on the investigation. Nearly 26 years in the making, Regina Boss would have turned 66 years old this week. Families, friends, and the community having been searching for Boss since her disappearance in 2000. Channel 8's Emma Norwood explaining what LPD tells us about this new lead.
A pivotal update coming out of the Lincoln Police Department's investigation into the disappearance of Regina Boss.
LPD recently received a new lead, which prompted additional investigative work in the case in July and August. While the results of those efforts are not yet known, investigators continue to follow the information and determine where it may lead.
Boss was reported missing on October 17th of 2000 after leaving Dugan's Pub and never returning home. This area here near 11th and K Streets is where Boss was last seen. This is one of the longest outstanding missing persons cases in Lincoln, with more than 25 years of searching.
Because this remains an active and ongoing investigation, LPD is not releasing specific details about the methods being used to protect the integrity of the investigation and respect the family.
Today, Boss would be 66 years old. Her disappearance helping spark the start of Missing Persons Day in Nebraska and the 411 Gina Foundation.
Our team continues to work on missing person cases regardless of when they are reported.
LPD says they now have access to new technology and forensic capabilities, which are giving officers new ways of looking at information and evidence. Now they're asking for the community's help to continue in their search for Boss.
LPD recognizes that behind every missing person case, there are loved ones who carry the weight of uncertainty and hope. Our hearts are with Regina's family and all loved ones facing this unimaginable reality. Our investigators remain in contact with them, assuring them of our commitment to finding answers for them.
Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Well, Lincoln police captain is placed on leave. Deputies say Captain Maid McGuire is facing a child abuse charge. They say she and her partner left their 2-year-old child in a locked van. A witness calling police after spotting a screaming child with the windows up and van off out at Pawnee Lake. Deputies say McGuire and Mary Tobiason were each cited for misdemeanor child abuse. Adding McGuire had a blood alcohol content level of 0.108. Here's Lancaster County Sheriff Terry Wagner.
The two women were fishing and left the child in the van. Keep in mind the 28 minutes that we've calculated so far is a minimum amount of time that the child was in the van. So we just can't emphasize enough how quickly the interior of a vehicle can get extremely hot, even on a 78-degree day, which is pretty pleasant for us outdoors. Inside a vehicle, it gets extremely hot extremely quick.
Authorities say they are reviewing video footage from deputies and witnesses at the scene and are working to complete the investigation quickly. All right, let's talk weather here this morning. This is a look here at our Honda of Lincoln camera. Kind of dark out there, kind of gloomy, though not a lot of rain or moisture out there currently. Let's get to meteorologist Houston Hall. Has got an updated forecast for us. Good morning, Houston.
Good morning. Well, the moisture side of things, oh, well, we got that, you know. Andrew, you know, you need moisture to create clouds. That's right. So there's lots of clouds out there. That means we've got the moisture. So there you go. Taught you something new today. And here's a look down in Beatrice. Not a lot of sunshine, but we got a whole lot of clouds and even some cool-looking clouds. Here's a look southeast Nebraska. Now, some of these thicker clouds might have a little 200 sprinkles in downtown Lincoln, off towards Nebraska City, and just east of Hastings. That's not much, but we could be seeing some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, try to get going here within the next few hours. And taking a look, there's that cold front stretch just south of Valentine. You can see those clouds starting to form. And then southwest Nebraska, that's going to be the spot to watch as we go into this evening into tonight. Temperatures ranging from about 72 to 80 degrees. There's that moisture in the upper 60s, lower 70s for those dew points. And taking a look at Stormcast, about 1, 2 p.m. Isolated thunderstorm might pop up in southeast Nebraska, but really the bulk of the storms will stay off towards southwest Nebraska all the way through this evening, and then going into tonight, we could see a few isolated storms make their way towards southeast Nebraska. I'll show you the whole in-depth forecast, main weather.
All right, thanks for the education there, Houston. Appreciate it. All right, new at midday. If you're closing out summer with a Labor Day getaway, be prepared for higher costs and extra traffic. According to AAA, domestic flights to popular destinations are up nearly 20% from last year. Hotel prices are also up nearly 10%. AAA booking data shows that Seattle, Orlando, Boston, Denver, and New York are the top domestic destinations. Rome, Vancouver, and London are the most popular choices internationally. If you're driving somewhere, prices at the pump will be higher than a year ago. And for those flying with United Airlines, there's some good news for you.
Costs have gone up in the airline industry, and that has driven airfares up. But they're still 13% lower than they were pre-COVID. And what's really happening, I think, is that a bounce back from the artificial lows that happened because of COVID. When air travel demand collapsed, pricing collapsed. And so they're coming back to a more normal level.
That comes just in time for Labor Day travel, as traffic is expected to peak the Thursday and Friday into the holiday weekend. Developing now, Governor Pillen meeting with President Donald Trump after attending a conference in Washington, D.C. He says the two had a great conversation about fighting for Nebraska beef and finding solutions that don't rely on bringing in more foreign products. It comes after Pillen met with White House leaders and lawmakers about a new school meals rule. It would promote whole foods, healthier cooking, and more money for school cafeteria infrastructure. That's Secretary of War Pete Hegseth meeting with Senator Pete Ricketts at Offutt Air Force Base here in Nebraska. You can see here Hegseth's arrival in Omaha, shaking hands with the military members. He kept his tour of Offutt brief with Ricketts before flying to Wisconsin. Now, Senator Ricketts did stick around to talk about a rising concern among Nebraska farmers and ranchers: tariffs and beef. Consumers have been feeling the pinch, with beef costs up 57% since 2021. Channel 8's Skylar Sears with the details for us.
Beef may not be what's for dinner tonight. Many families are struggling to make ends meet. Inflation data shows that beef prices have risen much faster than those of other foods. Ground beef prices rose 9% in July from a year ago, while beef steaks rose 9.6%, according to the latest CPI report. President Trump says his latest move to allow more foreign beef into the U.S. without an out-of-quota tariff is to offset those costs. The change applies to up to 300,000 metric tons of product for ground beef over the next 90 days. With affordability playing out at the ballot box this November, the move is drawing concerns from Nebraska cattle producers who say it could create more uncertainty for ranchers.
I appreciate the fact that they want to try and bring grocery prices down, but these short-term solutions are actually not going to get at the long-term issue of growing the herd to be able to bring down beef prices for our consumers.
Channel 8 got the chance to ask Senator Ricketts, who is running for re-election, whether shoppers will actually see lower prices.
It remains to be seen if American consumers will actually see those discounted prices. We're still asking the White House for some details about how this is all supposed to work out, where even the beef is supposed to be coming from. We don't know. We don't have any answers on that yet.
Groups representing the cattle industry have opposed attempts to increase imports over concerns that they could undercut American cattle producers. Reporting in Omaha, Skylar Sears, Channel 8 News.
So where does Ricketts' opponent Dan Osborne stand on this issue of affordability? Well, Channel 8 reaching out to the campaign asking how he would lower beef and grocery prices if he were in office. His response includes 4 main points: ending tariffs, ending foreign wars, increasing grazing land, and allowing ranchers to carry larger herds to increase our beef supply. Stay with us, everyone. Plenty more for you after the break, including a call to action. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association is urging the public to speak out for cattle producers, how the government is impacting the industry.
Something wasn't working with my feet.
Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
So I went into the Good Feed store and bam.
They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feed store. Good feet, good life.
ABC's lifetime seamless steel roofs lock out the harshest weather and provide permanent maintenance-free protection for your home. Protecting your home starts at the top. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
After Pete Ricketts made himself even richer in Washington, he's lying about his opponent to stay there. Because lifelong independent Dan Osborne will fight corruption, pass term limits and age limits, and stop politicians from insider trading. Osborne will stand up to liberal Democrats to defend gun rights and secure borders and keep boys out of girls' sports. Veteran, independent, Dan Osborne for Senate. Working Class Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Locally owned since 1963, Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln offers a huge variety of RVs. Unlike competitors' same old models, your choice is always uniquely yours. All types, all styles, all price ranges. Get out and live life. Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln. Camp better.
Do you need hearing support? Don't be left out of the conversation. Here at Christensen Hearing Analytics, we understand that better hearing is better living. We provide the hearing solutions you need. Contact Christensen Hearing Analytics for a free consultation today and write the happy ending to your hearing story.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu, which means make it a meal and save. Extra value meals are back.
The legendary Big Mac meal is now just $8.
Retirement planning have you stressed? You're not alone. Help put your retirement concerns to rest. Watch Retire Smart with David Brooks to help you plan your dream retirement.
Right now, the public is being called out to take action. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association is urging people to tell the White House and Congress to support America's cattle producers and policies that strengthen them and allow them to produce high-quality beef. The association says the real issue is that the government-driven market distortions are undermining producer confidence and preventing the expansion of U.S. cattle numbers. Well, Cinemark's Bring Your Own Bucket event returns in September, and U.S. battery startups have found a lifeline in defense. Jen King has today's Ag and Energy Report.
U.S. battery startups hit a rough patch when the One Big Beautiful bill eliminated battery and EV incentives. But recently, they found a lifeline in the defense world, helping to power everything from drones and torpedoes to infantry radios and fighter jets. The Department of Energy recently announced it's awarding $500 million in grants to bolster the battery supply chain in the U.S. Well, prominent figures in the Make America Healthy Again movement are telling President Trump that data centers should not become the justification for burning more coal. It cites coal's public health and environmental toll due to soot pollution, mercury, and byproducts called coal ash that contain heavy metals. It says there are better energy options, citing solar paired with energy storage, advanced geothermal, and improved energy efficiency. Well, Wendy's wants to get back into the burger fight. Wendy's CEO Bob Wright is rolling out a 5-point strategy to address food quality, value, store upgrades, and digital sales. He's told franchisees and investors the company has shortchanged ingredient quality for cost savings and that service has become uneven. Wendy's lost its place as the second biggest burger chain in the U.S. to Burger King this month. Cinemark's Bring Your Own Bucket popcorn special will take place Sunday, September 6th for $5. Guests can fill any clean bucket of their choice with up to 400 ounces of popcorn. Cinemark said no ticket purchase is required to participate. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King with your Ag and Energy Report.
Now, for your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Houston Hall.
Alrighty, so I think it's a good day after I go home, find a 400-ounce bucket and find my way to Cinemark. I think that's indeed what I'll be doing. I'll be walking into work with a big old bucket, some popcorn. Take a look at the flag. On Devlin Cam, a light breeze and a whole lot of cloud cover at 74, a dew point of 68. Not a lot of rain in the area. There's a few sprinkles, maybe a light rain shower just southeast of Hastings. Check out these clouds right here. If you look closely, they look like little scales. They're transverse bands, very light in nature, usually indicate maybe a little bit of turbulence for aviation and maybe even in some instability, which could help for some severe thunderstorm activity later this evening. Now there's our little front, which has given us all of these clouds and the chance for some severe weather. Now look where the sunshine is, off towards the southwest. That's going to be the best chance for severe weather as we go into this evening. Meanwhile, we have some cloud cover lingering around across southeast Nebraska. Now here's the recent update. They just updated this. The SPC still in this marginal risk with a better chance for any severe weather off towards the west, about from Grand Island out towards southwest Nebraska. Large hail, damaging winds will be the main factors here. So about here in the next hour or two through about 3 p.m. could see a few isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder try to pop up out of those clouds that you just saw there. Other than that, we should see a little bit of sunshine going into this evening. And then we'll have some clouds that will move west to east along with that front. Now this model says, okay, this is about 9 to 11 p.m. Models have it a little bit earlier, but really, you're going to have some storms form around here across southwest Nebraska where the sunshine was. Those are going to be moving along I-80 going into tonight. About midnight, 1 a.m. Should be right between Grand Island and North Platte, carrying some damaging winds and some hail, especially along the Kansas-Nebraska border. Those will dive down towards the south past about 2, 3 a.m. And then Grand Island's in that little level 2 slight risk because they could get some winds from those storms just on the eastern side. We could see an isolated storm as we go to this afternoon. That's why we're in the marginal risk, as we could get a little bit of an upscale growth. Now this has 9 p.m. After 9 p.m., maybe we could see a little bit of an uptick in the rain chances here in Lincoln. Temperatures in the upper 70s, the lower 80s. Meanwhile, off in southeast Nebraska, you get the cloud cover. We're in the lower 70s still, so better chance out towards the west. Now today, if we can see some of that sunshine here within the next few hours, we'll top off in the low to mid 80s and then the 70s past 1 a.m. And then the 7-day forecast, really after the severe weather tonight, we'll have a nice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, the 90s make a return. I haven't felt those in a little bit, but I don't know if I'd mind it. Now, going into September, we do track the same temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with a little bit of rain and storm chances.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Still to come, the controversial loophole in college sports, why some players are opting to delay their professional careers to go back to school.
Thinking about buying a new couch?
Or replacing an appliance? You can save hundreds of dollars on a variety of items.
So before you buy,
give Salvage Warehouse a try
for huge savings.
If you've been injured in a car accident, here are 3 important things you need to know. 1, on average, injured people with a trial lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one. 2, Friedman Law are expert at helping injured people. It's all we've done for over 60 years. And 3, working with Friedman Law doesn't cost you anything, but not working with Friedman Law could cost you dearly. Call Friedman Law, 402-476-1093.
Huge discounts on scratched, slightly dented, and discontinued bird feeders, bird houses, bird baths, and more. Wild Bird Habitat's warehouse sale is August 28th through the 31st at Alamo Plaza, 56th and Nebraska Parkway. Be an early bird for the best selection.
The people you've always known. The care you've always counted on. The standards you've come to expect. Everything you've turned to Tabitha for is still here. At Eventide. And it's all based on the belief that joy doesn't have an age limit.
We have a challenge for you. Don't buy anything before visiting Salvage and Warehouse. First, take a walk through the store.
You might find exactly what you're looking for.
Take the Salvage Warehouse Challenge today.
Right now, a new debate in the world of sports. Professional players going back to college. Do their teams now have an unfair advantage? Well, the Big Ten thinks they do, which is why the conference is moving to ban this loophole. But other conferences are just kind of going with the flow. Here's ABC's Hannah Batah.
It's a stunning U-turn in sports. NFL players leaving the pros to go back to college. Rookie tight end Daquan Wright was recently waived by the Cleveland Browns. Now, his agents say he has a deal to play for LSU this season.
It would absolutely be unprecedented in college athletics.
Former New Orleans Saints defensive lineman Xavier Harris is also headed back to college, also to LSU. It comes after the NCAA recently changed its rules to allow athletes 5 years to play. The rule change wasn't supposed to take effect until next season, but that sparked a legal battle. Wright and Harris were among those who sued to become eligible under the rule change.
Anyone who was in the class of 2022 and is gone after 4 years is saying, whoa, wait a minute, I got an extra year? And so you're seeing these lawsuits pop up state by state.
A judge in Louisiana ruled in their favor, and LSU moved quickly to recruit them.
They're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else around the country. So we've made a decision to recruit them.
There's a powerful incentive to come back to college: money. College stars can now earn big paydays thanks to rule changes made in recent years.
Do I want to go back to LSU where I can make at least 6 figures? Or do I want to be on an NFL practice squad and make a modest salary at best?
The SEC is pushing back, saying college sports are for college athletes. Experts say other states could now follow Louisiana's lead. SEC leaders are meeting this week to figure out what comes next. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Out of Husker football, a good update this morning from Athletic Director Troy Dannon on the Memorial Stadium project. He says you can expect a construction zone during games this fall, but progress is being made, and he hopes fans will see the long-term importance of this.
Will be the inconveniences of construction. I don't think it'll be too bad this fall, but we'll start to see. I can't walk that way, and I can't go over here, but it's part of our progress, and we'll have something pretty nice to show for it in 28.
The project is expected to really pick up construction-wise once the season is over. Dannon says tickets are also still being sold for the first couple of games. There are about 1,400 available for the season opener, 2,300 for the Bowling Green game the following weekend. Still ahead, skating into history. Meet the woman who's setting records and proving to everyone that age is only a number.
Get an 11% rebate on everything now at Menards. Shop our selection of Procter & Gamble products. We carry top brands like Bounty, Tide, and Dawn. Right now, get $10 instant savings on a qualifying purchase of $40 or more on products from Procter & Gamble. Add comfort to your living space with new carpet. Irreplaceable carpet is soft and luxurious, making it perfect for any room. Now a value of $189 a square foot after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message.
Liberal Dan Osborne is running from his record.
My policies are plastic. They're malleable. I can change as I go.
But Osborne's policies just get more extreme. Boys and girls sports, citizenship and benefits for illegals.
There definitely needs to be a clear path to citizenship. Let's give him a damn Social Security card already.
Enriching himself, selling out to the far left. Dan Osborne, way too extreme.
Horizon Hospice is honored to be a recipient of the Woods Aiken Best Places to Work Award, all thanks to our incredibly dedicated staff. And you, the incredible Lincoln community we're committed to serving. Horizon Hospice, great care with love for life.
Heartland of Nebraska Windows is proud to offer the lowest prices for high-quality windows. You can buy more expensive windows from a bigger company, but can't buy windows from a better company than Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Call today for your free estimate.
It's easy to see the common signs of transmission trouble,
If it seems to be switching gears for no reason.
especially if you see a red or reddish-brown fluid leak.
So watch for the signs. Certified transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Craving a mouth-watering sub sandwich? Look no further than Sid's Deli and Subs. Serving fresh, made-to-order subs with your choice of sliced meats and cheeses on our soft, fresh-baked bread. Come and taste the Sid's Deli difference. Sid's Deli and Subs, 33rd and Cornhusker, Lincoln.
Trending now today, Guinness out with its annual book. It'll be incredible achievements and inspiring stories for people all around the world. And that includes one notable woman who skated her way into history again. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Look out, 66-year-old Judy Oyama is once again skating into history.
I actually feel like I'm skating more this last 2 years than I've skated forever.
As Guinness World Records 2027 drops in the U.S. today, this legendary speedster is being celebrated as the world's oldest female competitive skateboarder after extending a record she already held by 2 more years.
I remember seeing at the library, and I'm very stoked. Right there.
Get an attitude, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot.
This California native has been paving the way on the pavement for more than half a century. After, one day when she was 13, her brother made a skateboard in woodshop class and brought it home.
We tried it out on the driveway, and I just kept skating, and we bought a board together. I never stopped.
Not soon after, in the 1970s and 80s, Judy emerged as a skateboarding pioneer. Not only was she inducted into the Skateboarding Hall of Fame in 2018, but a helmet she wore in 1976 has even been archived by the Smithsonian.
You gotta just go for it.
And obviously, she has not stopped since, even with the risk of potential injury.
How are you able to conquer that fear on 4 wheels?
Well, one, I don't think about falling.
But one thing that has kept Judy from retiring, she says, has really been finding a protege. This is 17-year-old Leola Kahaku, whom Judy has been mentoring for 2 years now. Last year at the International Slalom Skateboarding World Championships in Brazil, Judy placed 4th and Leola took the gold at 1st overall. Judy said that moment made her year.
It's just been an amazing opportunity to watch someone like blossom.
And now, thanks in large part to that race, Judy and Leola have qualified for the World Skate Games in Paraguay this October, which will once again break and extend Judy's record some more. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Hey, before we go to break, here's a live look outside at the Barry Law Tower. We're going to have a gloomy start to the day. We're going to have a final check of the forecast coming up next.
KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
Washington needs Nebraska common sense more than ever. That's why Pete Ricketts is taking on both parties to ban congressional insider trading. Ricketts introduced the law to stop corrupt politicians from gaming the system and lining their own pockets. Career politicians hate it. Washington insiders want to kill it. But Ricketts will never stop fighting for what's right. Call Pete Ricketts. Thank him for fighting to stop insider trading and keep standing for Nebraska.
This Labor Day, the rest you deserve is in the all-new Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's. And a better rest means a better you. And it all starts with our exclusive comfort mapping system, which helps you select your perfect fit. And once you have your match, take advantage of huge savings on all Serta, I-Series NXG, and Beautyrest Black mattresses, now with up to $1,000 in savings. Plus, get interest-free financing and free delivery on every mattress set $9.99 or more. So stop in and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
If you have sunken, cracked, or uneven concrete in your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, there's only one local family-owned company to call: Thrasher Foundation Repair. Only Thrasher has been fixing concrete in the Midwest for more than 50 years. Only Thrasher has over 34,000 five-star reviews. Don't wait to fix your concrete. Join over 200,000 happy customers who will tell you there's only one company to call: Thrasher Foundation Repair.
Today marks the start of fall for most coffee drinkers. It's official. The iconic pumpkin spice latte season is here at Starbucks. Along with many other fall favorites added to the lineup, they're bringing back staples like pecan lattes and pumpkin cream chai. They're also adding banana flavors to the menu, along with cider. That's their take on cider inspired by chai. Their fall flavors are now available at grocery stores as well, so you can taste it at home here too. Houston, it's a pretty good day out there to just grab, a little pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I'm not sure who chai is, but pumpkin spice does sound pretty delicious.
Chai tea? You never heard of chai tea?
Oh, chai tea. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was okay, I got you.
I thought it was a guy.
I don't know.
Chai?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sounds pretty cool though. Yeah, I mean, it's a good day to get some coffee, pumpkin spice, anything like that. As we take a look, we got a little bit of cloud cover across eastern Nebraska, but now notice southwest Nebraska, they are seeing sunshine, and they will see more sunshine, which will give them a slight risk for severe weather. Here around 1, 2, 3 p.m. could see a few isolated showers and thunderstorms southeast Nebraska. Other than that, the severe weather will stay off towards the southwest going into tonight. Grand Island might see some gusty winds overnight tonight, talking 60, 65 mile per hour gusts. Other than that, it looks just fine across eastern Nebraska. So don't get your hopes up on any really severe weather across eastern Nebraska. The next few days look to be all right, and then the 90s return next week, and the upper 80s, less humidity though.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Houston. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is next. Have a great rest of your day.
Founded and operated by American veterans and patriots, we bring a warrior ethos to every case. We are Barry Law.
Let your voice be heard by sharing your photos and videos to the Now Local News app. Earn points and redeem them for gift cards. Scan the QR code to join.
At Synergy Home Care, we're all about family. Our roots run deep in Nebraska, and we're obsessed with offering the most compassionate in-home care for families in the good life state. We understand the emotional impact of providing for your loved ones, and we'll help you discover options to ease your financial stress, including a free insurance review so you can focus on what truly matters. Your family. Synergy Home Care. We're all in this together.
For 50 years, Medica has covered the Midwest. Through every season of the year and every season of life. From our first steps, to our first successes, to our last day wearing a tie. With a health plan from Medica, no matter who you are or where you're headed next, we'll be there too.
Start your morning at 5, 6, and 11 a.m. with Andrew Ward.
My God, the property's burning down.
Residents racing to escape. We are on the scene. The new move by United to bring more comfort to economy. Plus, what the CEO is telling us about sky-high airfare and if it'll come down.
Avengers!
Assemble. And the Avengers are assembling again. It's not over for Endgame. How Marvel is helping fans gear up for Doomsday. It's time for GMA3.
Hello, everybody. I'm Whit Johnson. Always like a call to assemble, right?
Right?
So, yeah,
We're
assemble.
assembling,
News
yeah.
team.
And I'm Lori Bergamato here with Gio Benitez. We are so glad you can join us on this Tuesday.
And we are also ahead here, a one-pan plan for dinner tonight. Best-selling cookbook author Alex Snodgrass is here with all of those recipes. I love those one-pan tricks.
Yes, makes it so easy. Also, it's back to school season, which can mean a spike in asthma attacks for kids. So what's the connection? Dr. Darian Sutton is here to break down what should parents know.
But we do start here with the latest on the raging wildfires. One breaking out overnight in Texas, exploding in size. And Melissa Don is in Reno, Nevada, where firefighters have been battling the Hawk Fire. Melissa.
Hey there, Whit. So we're getting a better look at the damage here, and you can see this is the northern Reno neighborhood where these homes here were clearly destroyed by those flames that ripped through. And this is not the only wildfire that is burning out west. Now overnight in Texas, another wildfire there breaking out. That one is called the Ross Fire, and it has grown to more than 50,000 acres. Residents that live near Jacksboro were ordered to evacuate. Well, back here in Nevada, this blaze here burning more than 15,000 acres. The Hawk Fire destroying more than 30 homes. 7 people have been injured from this, including 3 firefighters. Now, the fire did break out on Saturday, and it was in these conditions, which were really, really tough. We're talking about windy, dry conditions as it pushed in here to this populated neighborhood. At this point now, officials are working to investigate the cause. They say it was caused by a human, but at this point, it's still under investigation, guys, if it was set intentionally or not. Guys.
And that's a big part of the investigation. All right, Melissa Dunn, thank you so much. Now to concerns about possible record gas prices on Labor Day. Elizabeth Scholze joins us now from Washington to break down the impact of global events on your bottom line, including President Trump's escalating trade war with Canada and the war with Iran. Elizabeth.
Yeah, Gio, we are really seeing this new trade war with Canada combined with the Iran war test the economy and threaten higher prices for American families. So first, we're seeing the squeeze on the global oil supply because of that standoff in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, that is our emergency stockpile of oil, is now at its lowest level since 1982. And we are seeing gas prices now hover around $4.08 a gallon on average. Gas Buddy says that prices are on track to stay above $4 on Labor Day for the first time ever. Just for perspective, if you are driving a mid-sized SUV, it'll cost you $73 to fill up right now. That's almost $20 more than at the same time last year. Plus, the escalating trade war with Canada is now another threat. So the U.S. actually imports a lot of oil, natural gas, fertilizer products, even electricity from Canada. Those sectors are not currently facing new tariffs, but it does show how deeply entwined these two economies are. In fact, the Yale Budget Lab put put out a new estimate saying that all of the tariffs right now, including the new 50% tariffs on Canadian imports, will cost the typical American household almost $1,100 each year, Gio.
Wow. Okay, Elizabeth, so tell us what products could actually get more expensive because of those tariffs.
Yeah, it's pretty specific. So the list of new tariffs applies to alcohol, dairy products, building materials, equipment like hockey sticks coming from Canada into the U.S. Plus, you've got Canada now threatening retaliatory tariffs on goods that American businesses ship to them. That would start September 8th, including steel, appliances, and electronics. Kind of the big picture bottom line here. These new tariffs account for about 5% of all the goods that we buy from Canada. But it does mean that American businesses are paying higher fees when those imports cross the border. And we have seen that those higher costs often get passed on to shoppers. Guys.
Yeah, a lot of important information there. Thank you, Elizabeth. And now to big changes in travel. Gio, you had a chance to sit down with the CEO of United to talk about airfare and a new seating